Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Revealing Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu. Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. Many thanks for joining us. I am Comfort James. Quickly a look at the news making the rounds for today. Senate dismisses report of COVID-19 scare in National Assembly. Cameroon government dispels phantom talks with separatist leaders. Trump moves to pull U.S. out of World Health Organization. Official exchange rates may hit 430 naira per dollar, says report. Eagles missing in Africa's top 10 MVPs. Do well to stay with us as we bring you the details of this news and more after this time out. Welcome back. And now the news in details. Senate dismisses report of COVID-19 scare in National Assembly. The Senate described as fake a report by an online medium claiming there was panic in the National Assembly because 50 lawmakers tested positive for COVID-19. The chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Dr. Ajibola Basiru, in reaction to an inquiry on the issue, described the publication as fake news merchants. He said it is unfortunate that some people derive fun from fake news. The report had claimed that the House of Representatives adjourned plenary until next week following news that over 50 legislators may have tested positive for coronavirus. It quoted an unidentified lawmaker as telling journalists that about 50 of his colleagues had tested positive for the virus, with some of them seriously ill. The online medium also claimed that its findings had revealed that many of the lawmakers in both chambers of the National Assembly had tested positive for COVID-19 but refused to make it known to the public. Moving forward, the Niger State NLC insists on payment of full salaries. The Niger State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress insisted that it would not collect anything less than 100% salary for its members. The state government had last week announced its plan to cut the salaries of workers following shortfall in income, especially from the Federation Account Allocation Committee. According to the government, salaries of civil servants are to be slashed by 30%, while those of the local government staff will be reduced by 40%. But the state chairman of the NLC, Yakubu Garba, said they can't take anything less than 100%. They say they can stay for 3 months or even a year without salary, but they will only take 100% of their salaries. Garba said the Congress would meet on Thursday to deliberate, after which they will issue an ultimatum to the government. It was gathered that as a result of the disagreement between Labour and government, salaries of workers expected to have been paid on the 25th of the month had been put on hold. In another story, West African Examination Council releases guidelines for 2020 West African Senior School Certificate Examination. The West African Examination Council released guidelines for the conduct of the 2020 West African Senior School Certificate Examination. The Minister of State for Education, Emeka Nwajuba, at a briefing by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Abuja, announced that the 2020 West African Senior School Certificate Examination would hold between August 4th and September 5th, 2020. The head of the Nigerian National Office of WAEC, Mr. Patrick Aregon, appealed to state government and corporate organizations for funds to provide personal protective equipment for officials who would conduct the examination. He said in conducting the examination, they have taken due cognizance of the various measures and protocols rolled out by the federal and state governments of Nigeria aimed at checking the spread of the pandemic. Schools must provide wash hand buckets with running water, soaps, hand sanitizers and thermometer handgun to check the temperature of all concerned. Aragon added that the final international timetable had been sent to all WAEC zonal and branch offices for onward dispatch to schools, federal and state ministries of education. Coming from around Africa, Cameroon government dispels phantom talks with separatist leaders. The Cameroon government says it is not in any talks with separatist leaders, as widely reported on social media. Even a number of mainstream news outlets reported that a government representative had met with some Anglophone separatist leaders in the capital Yaoundé, where they were being incarcerated. A July 6 statement signed by Information Minister Reine Emmanuel Sadi dispelled the news, stressing that the reports did not conform with reality. He added that all efforts were being taken by the government to end the crisis in the country's two English-speaking regions, but that all such measures were aimed at preserving the unity and territorial integrity of the country. He reiterated government call for armed groups to lay down their arms and embrace a peace offer by President Paul Biya. What has become known as Anglophone crisis has led to the loss of lives, mass destruction of property, and displacement across the two regions, accusing the central government of marginalization. 9 separatist leaders are currently serving life sentences in Yaoundé prison. The now dismissed talks were held after they were briefly let out of prison to meet a government envoy. Still from around Africa, worsening woes, South Sudan risk EAC rot due to dues. South Sudan's economic woes are affecting diplomatic representation, this time relative to membership of the regional bloc, the Eastern African Community. The country risks expulsion from the EAC because it has defaulted over membership dues. The EAC's assembly recently voted to expel South Sudan and serial defaulter Burundi. A final decision on the issue will be taken when leaders of the member nations next meet. The bloc comprises Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi, and South Sudan. EAC members are supposed to pay $8 million a year in dues. Burundi has not paid for 4 years, which comes up to over $30 million, while South Sudan owes $10 million. It is a second such headache that the government in Juba is having to deal with after the African Union last month blocked South Sudanese diplomats from engaging in certain activities of some organs. The country, Africa's youngest, is struggling to cope with an economic crisis caused in part by a recent civil war that has affected oil production, a major income stream for the government. South Sudan is not alone in the EAC's bad books. Burundi is in a worse shape relative to its debts. The country's failure to pay is partly premised on its unsuccessful bid to have the dues lowered, according to some reports. Gitega insists that its economy is smaller than its neighbors. Right now we'll be taking a quick break, and when we return we shall be looking at updates from the United States, and other news items. We'll be right back. Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mars.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mars.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth. Fight for glory. Desire for victory.
I am Lizzie Johnson Suleiman, and I want to use this time out to invite all the women watching me right now. It's our International Women Conference again. I know you will not want to miss this. Regardless of what is happening, we are trusting God that God is set to do something great in our midst.
Power! Happy sounds! 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 Power!
The theme for this conference this year is No More Tears, and the date is on the 12th, the 13th and 14th of August. God's servant Apostle Johnson Suleiman will be with us, ministering greatly and to reach out to us again. So you don't want to miss this. Just get set, prepare yourself to be in this meeting.
Touch! 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 Touch!
It's a time of revival. It's a time of revitalization. It's a time to get ourselves hooked up again, connected again to the supernatural. And you see what God will do in your life. The Lord bless you.
Live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Auchi, Dove State, Nigeria. International Women Conference 2020.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mars.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth.
Welcome back. Still on News Desk. Trump moves to pull U.S. out of World Health Organization. President Donald Trump has formally moved to withdraw the U.S. from the World Health Organization. The president had made his intentions clear in late May, accusing the World Health Organization of being under China's control in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Despite calls from the EU and others, he said they would pull out of the UN agency and redirect funds elsewhere. He has now notified the UN and Congress of his intentions, although the process could take at least a year. Stephanie Juricic, spokesman for the UN Secretary General, confirmed the U.S. had notified it of its withdrawal effective as of 6 July 2021. The U.S. is the global health agency's largest single contributor, providing more than $400 million in 2019, around 15% of its total budget. The withdrawal will call into question the World Health Organization's financial viability and the future of its many programs promoting healthcare and tackling disease. Trump first announced in April that he was going to halt U.S. funding for the World Health Organization unless it undertook substantive improvements within 30 days. Then in late May, he said they will be terminating their relationship with the World Health Organization and directing the funds to other global public health charities. The president accused China of pressurizing the World Health Organization to mislead the world about the virus without giving evidence for his allegations. Other countries, including Germany and the United Kingdom, have said they have no intention of withdrawing funding from the World Health Organization, which is coordinating a global initiative to develop a vaccine against COVID-19. And more updates from the United Kingdom. Rishi Sunak to unveil kickstart job scheme for young people. Chancellor Rishi Sunak will announce a €2 billion kickstart scheme later to create more jobs for young people. The fund will subsidize 6-month work placement for people on universal credit aged between 16 and 24 who are at risk of long-term unemployment. Labour welcomed the move but said the government had failed to rise to the scale of unemployment crisis. Mr. Sunak is also expected to announce a temporary stamp duty holiday to stimulate the property market. In the wake of the Prime Minister's new deal to build after the coronavirus outbreak unveiled last week, Mr. Sunak promised he would deliver the economic update to tackle increasing fears of mass unemployment, particularly among young people. The Treasury said the Kickstart scheme would be part of a 3-point plan for jobs to help Britain bounce back from coronavirus. The government said it would allow young people the opportunity to build their skills in the workplace and to gain experience that will improve their chances of going on to find long-term sustainable work. The scheme will open for applications in August, with the first jobs expected to start in the autumn and run until December 2021, with the option of being extended. It will cover England, Scotland and Wales, and the government said it will provide additional funding to Northern Ireland for a similar scheme. On business, official exchange rates may hit 430 naira per dollar, says reports. The nation's official exchange rate may fall to 430 naira to the dollar by the end of 2020, United Capital PLC, a Pan-African investment banking and financial services group, has said. The firm in its economic forecast for the second half of the year, titled Nigeria H2 2020 Outlook Report, Up in the Air, analyzed the state of the Nigerian economy and outlined future projections informed by domestic and global events. It said what could have been a flourishing year for the Nigerian economy was caught in the web of a global public health crisis, which grounded domestic and external economic activities. The report noted that domestic economic growth in the first quarter of 2020 slowed to 1.87%. It said the GDP figure for the second quarter of 2020 was set to come in negative despite the series of stimulus packages by the authorities aimed at easing the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on businesses and households. According to the report, since the current crisis is supply-side heavy, that is restriction of movement and business shutdown, the demand-side responses by both the fiscal and monetary authorities, which equals liquidity injections, will not be enough to prevent an economic contraction in the short term. United Capital said it had lowered its real GDP growth forecast for 2020 from 2.3% to minus 2.69%. And still on business, NNPC earns $192.4 billion, 4 billion naira rather, from petrol, kerosene and diesel sales. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation said it posted a total revenue of 192.4 billion naira from the sale of petrol, kerosene and diesel in the month of March. In its latest monthly financial and operations report for March 2020 release, the oil firm said its highest earnings during the month under review was from petrol. It made 191.98 billion naira from the sale of petrol. The corporation earned 104.8 million naira and 285.1 million naira from the sale of diesel and kerosene, respectively. The report, however, indicated a trading deficit of 9.6 2.53 billion naira for the NNPC group in March 2020 compared to the 3.95 billion naira surplus posted in February 2020. The firm explained that the decline of over 300% in the month was due to primarily the huge decrease of 181% in the performance of Nigeria Petroleum Development Company, the flagship subsidiary of the corporation. The corporation explained that this was caused by the present decline in crude oil prices due to coronavirus-related impact of reduced exports and dwindling world oil consumption, combined with deficits posted by the refineries and the corporation's headquarters. Right now, we're taking another break, and when we return, it would be news stories from the world of sports. Do well to stay with us. Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mars.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. Fight for glory, desire for victory.
I am Lizzie Johnson Suleiman, and I want to use this time out to invite all the women watching me right now. It's our International Women Conference again. I know you will not want to miss this. Regardless of what is happening, we are trusting God that God is set to do something great in our midst.
Power! Happy sounds! 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 Power!
The theme for this conference this year is No More Tears, and the date is on the 12th, the 13th and 14th of August. God's servant Apostle Johnson Suleiman will be with us, ministering greatly, and God using him to reach out to us again. So you don't want to miss this. Just get set, prepare yourself to be in this meeting.
Touch! 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 Touch!
It's a time of revival. It's a time of revitalization. It's a time to get ourselves hooked up again, connected again to the supernatural. And you see what God will do in your life. The Lord bless you.
Live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Auchi, Dove State, Nigeria. International Women Conference 2020.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mars.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
Welcome back. No sports news, Eagles missing in Africa's top 10 MVPs. No Super Eagles player was listed in the top 10 list of the most valuable players in Africa. The list, which was compiled, has 2 players each from Senegal, Ivory Coast and Morocco. Also in the list are 1 player each from Egypt, Gabon, Algeria and Ghana. Liverpool's duo Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane topped the list, with both players valued at 120 million euros each, ahead of Arsenal's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Napoli's Kalidou Koulibaly, who are joint third at 56 million euros each. In 5th place is Achraf Hakimi, who recently moved from Real Madrid to Inter, valued at 54 million euros. Arsenal's Nicolas Pepe, Manchester City's Riyad Mahrez and Crystal Palace's Wilfred Zaha are 6th, 7th and 8th at 52 million euros, 58 million euros and 44 million euros respectively. Atletico Madrid's Thomas Partey and new Chelsea signing Hakim Ziyech complete the lease in joint ninth, valued at €40 million. The closest Nigerian is Wilfred Ndidi in 12th place and valued at €36 million. Samuel Chukwueze, Victor Osimhen and Alex Iwobi are the other Eagles players who are valued at €27 million, €27 million and €25.5 million respectively. In another sports news, Chelsea third after edging Palace and 5-goal thriller. The Blues were fortunate when opening the scoring of Selhurst Park as former Chelsea captain Gary Cahill fell to the ground, clutching his hamstring to allow Willian to tee up Olivier Giroud for his 4th goal in 6 games. Chelsea have already stated their intent to move up a level next season and challenge Liverpool and Manchester City for the title with the signings of Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech. Their arrival could have put Christian Pulisic's place in the team under threat, but after an injury-disrupted start to his first season in England, the American is beginning to flourish. Pulisic's form has led to comparisons with Eden Hazard, the man he replaced at Stamford Bridge, and the Belgian would have been proud of Chelsea's second as the 21-year-old skipped past Joe Ward and hammered in off the side of the near post. Chelsea appeared to be cruising towards victory, and only a great save from Vicente Guerta turned Williams short wide from Pulisic's layoff as the visitors threatened to run riot. And that's the size of the news for today from Celebration Television News Desk. But just in case you missed out, here is a recap of the headlines. Senate dismisses report of COVID-19 scare in National Assembly. Cameroon government dispels phantom talks with separatist leaders. Trump moves to pull U.S. out of World Health Organization. Official exchange rates may hit 430 naira per dollar, says report. Eagles missing in Africa's top 10 MVPs. And now to the photo of the day. Sometimes the weight you need to lose isn't on your body. Do not forget to follow us on our social media handles. We also want to hear your thoughts on our photo of the day on Facebook, Celebration TV, on Instagram, My Celebration TV, on Twitter at My Celebration TV, and on YouTube, Celebration TV. Remember that the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. So no matter the office you hold as a nation's president, a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, a professional, or as a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all to making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. So play your part and do it with all diligence. I am Comfort James, and thank you so very much for watching.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikule Amosu.